Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today we're talking once more about CCIV, Lucid Motors. Now I've covered about CCIV and Lucid Motors before, but hopefully today I'm going to be giving you new pieces of information with technical analysis, what I think about the stock, closing dates, yada yada. So without further ado, let's jump right into this one. So Lucid Motors, there hasn't been much news in June. The last thing was the intuitive, effortless, and elegant Lucid UX and user interface or experience for Lucid Air was revealed. So they're a bit slow on that. And on their channel, we also don't have much since 3 weeks ago. Now, I am a bit jealous of them having 70k or 62k subscribers, and I'm sitting low on that, so make sure to hit that subscribe button too. But nonetheless, today we do have some bit pieces of information that was hidden in the SEC filings. So first point is they were in non-compliance with the NYSE listing rule or New York Stock Exchange listing rules, and they regained that compliance by putting in the 10Q form that they were required to do so. Now, current date or closing date is assumed to be on July 23rd, 2021, and Lucid will have around $325 million in net cash as of 2 business days prior to closing date. So the current kind of estimate is that it's July 23rd, and that's a good assumption to have that it's going to close by or on July 23rd. Now the reason is that they're going to be spitting out a date in here. They're not just going to go on with just a random date. This is a thought off date. So from my perspective, I will take a look into July 23rd, 2021 to be that specific date. Now, the other thing I do want to look at is the amount of shares here. So the proposed maximum aggregate amount of shares is around 1.2 billion shares. Now, if we were to multiply that by the current price, which is around $23.40, over here it's estimated around $10, so $23.40, what you're going to be getting here is around $28.4 billion that are raised. Now, the current short interest, if you were to look at, the short float is around 26%. Now, this 26% is not adjusted to the entire float afterwards. It's currently the SPAC short interest itself. So once you add these insiders, other basically floats, etc., it's going to be much, much lower. However, I do think that closer towards that July date, we might actually start seeing a bit of a push. And that might freak out around the 26% short float on there. So the chances that you will be getting a short squeeze before you actually go ahead with the reverse merger is quite high at 26%. Now, what these shorts are actually counting on is after you do go ahead and get through that SPAC merger, reverse merger, that float is going to be much higher. So that 30% is going to be reduced probably to 5% or something. It's going to be really low. But what retail can actually do to surprise them is create a short squeeze before the official merger, increasing the price point, even if it's just for a short time. A lot of these short squeezes are short-lived, and that can really make a lot of money for some traders and the retail part. Now, before even moving on forward, if you'd like to see more contents like this, make sure to hit that like button down below, and there's a subscribe button on the bottom right. Make sure to click that subscribe button and turn notifications on. If you'd like to join our Discord and discuss this more, it's totally free. It's more of a discussion board. You can join it on here. Now, the other thing I do want to look at is institutional buyers. Now, institutional buyers, there's not much activity except back on the 17th of June where this company Genos Wealth added around 1.4%. So it's not much really. But if you were to look back in May, there's been a lot of activities, including, for instance, Citadel, which they decreased around 50% of their shares. The current average is around 1660 though. You see Blackstone Group and Rattan Capital also liquidated their shares and a bunch of others, but the majority, I would say around 75%, 80% is still bullish, compared to perhaps 20% institutions that are a bit hesitant and bearish. Now, in terms of the short interest per day, that's sitting somewhere around 15 to 20%, although the short float is estimated to be around 26% at the given SPAC merger. Again, that's to highlight a very much of a strong possibility of a short squeeze before the SPAC merger and the official ticker. So once more, just to reiterate, that date we're taking a look at is in July. And to be specific, we're looking at July 23rd. Let's move on now towards technical analysis. Now, on the technical analysis, the 1 month, 1 day perspective, the current aspect is that the 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA, which is bullish, and it might sound like nonsense for you, but just know between these two indicators, there's something that is called the trading action zone, where most positive reversals occur, and that's where the current price point action is at. And you get to see it already played on the 15th of June, jump to 24, and then slowed down a little. It's still within that trading action zone between the 24.79 and 22.66. The 50 SMA line is at 21.23. Now, the current William %R, which is similar to RSI, shows it's oversold. And if you were to look into momentum, it's currently dipping a little bit below zero. And that's as well because the MACD seems to be going as well towards the negative side. Now, the best aspect out of this one, or the best possibility, is that it's a very short-lived accumulation that will bounce backwards. And for this, you need to actually start taking a look at the next supports. How are volumes going in day by day? Are you getting more sellings than buying? And it could be a little bit of hesitancies and not much news. So really, any anticipated news or any news that might actually be launched, you can easily see this one spring way back up. So just because it's accumulating doesn't mean it's a bad stock. It's part of the natural cycle for each stock. Sometimes the EV market is not hot itself. Sometimes people are just moving their money from CCIV to something a bit more cooler at the time, like AMC or something, because they want to get rich quick. And there is the other part of people that believe in Lucid Air and Lucid Motors and want to keep their money there. So usually just don't get discouraged by fluctuations in price as long as you know what you're buying. But in this here, you're just basically taking a look if you want to buy more or less or sell now. You kind of just want to time it up in a short term. That's all what we're doing here. Now, the current stochastic fast and stochastic slow is currently testing a support, which is this support currently very close to at 22.76. We'll take a look into supports in a second. The Bollinger Band, which is the moving average volume bands, is expected to trade at 27.73 in the top and 18.17 in the bottom. Now, the current box plot is basically trading between these two lines. You're looking at the 27.43 at the top, 18.85 in the bottom. Now, if you were to take a look into Fibonacci retracements, 64.86, for instance, here on the top, and you're looking into the bottom around 960. So if you were to take a look at that, you're seeing some Fibonacci retracements, and the reason why I'm telling you about these Fibonacci retracements is because high frequency traders use it often, and sometimes day traders. So it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now on the support part, it's 22.68. On the resistance, it's 30.75. 37.28, 43.80, 53.08, and 64.86. Now the price line action, this is where you kind of go on for supports and resistances that are typical for the stock. Support is at 22.98. Below there, you're looking into 21.36. Going down to 1929, 1856, down to 1721, 1523, and 1351. Significant resistances though, a very strong resistance at the 2434. Above there, another strong one around the 2749. A bit of a turbulence between 2911 and 32.45. Above there, the next resistance is at 35.43. Bit of turbulence at 44.17, and then a strong resistance at 50.40, and again at 53.10. Above there is 57.25, and you can easily go to 65 from there on, and 70. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? Now, in the short term, before the SPAC merger, before July 23rd, it's easy to get a short squeeze because of the high short interest. After then, that short might adjust and might not, but it wouldn't be significant enough to cause a short squeeze. Now, in the general term, in terms of your investing in this one, this is a luxury EV. Think about the Benz of Tesla. That's where I think this one is going. And if that's the actual part that it's going, that's going to easily be $100 within the next 2 years or so. But that's, again, my opinion. I would love to buy this one at 15, don't get me wrong. But I actually think it's more valued a little bit higher than there. But if it does dip around 15, sure, I'll scoop a lot more. But from my own perspective, this is a good investment to hold and even a better swing. If you want to play it as a swing, you can, but investments long term, that's the way I'm going. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure to put down in the comments below, share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you made it this far into the video, I do recommend that you go ahead and join our Discord server. There's a lot of amazing folks in here. We do a lot of discussions here into the trading floor throughout the day. A lot of people are in there, and we do ask questions. You can ask me any question you would like on there. We do post research and DDs, and we hold weekly chat sessions. And we also do have a lounge in there. So make sure to actually join that and join the fun there. Have a wonderful day and a good one.